Hey, everybody. I wanted to share something with you that I'm really thankful about today. I just got back from the federal building in Los Angeles. I went there in order to be interviewed to becoming a U.S. citizen. If you don't know this, I was born in Israel, but I was raised in the United States till I was about 15. Then I went to Israel, did high school, served in the military, all that, went to university and all that jazz, and came back to LA about 7 years ago. And finally, I passed all of the hurdles in order to become a US citizen. There were two things that really kind of caught my ear in this interview. There were all kinds of questions about American history questions. Who was Martin Luther King? Who was the first president of the United States? And in the end of it, the lady who was doing the interview, she gets a phone call from her mother, and you hear her mother going on the phone. She goes, Ma, I told you 1,000 times. She was having this whole conversation back and forth with her mother. And then she hangs up the phone and she says, Man, freaking Mexican mothers, man. My God, are moms that annoying in Israel too? And I laughed and I said, Oh, you'd be surprised, and we laughed about it. But I was just so present to what a beautiful country this is, where it really is an immigrant country, just people from all walks of life, for all colors and creeds. It's just so thankful for that. And the waiting room was filled with people of all colors and all races. It was just awesome. The news is going to make such a big deal all the time because that's just what the news does. They're going to create this drama about America being a racist country and all this stuff. And people are going to walk around in the street thinking that this is like the worst country in the world. But I want you to just remember that it's true that there is racism and there are problems everywhere in every country, including in the United States of America. But the country is not a racist country. Even in the questionnaire, they ask you who's the first president of the United States. Name one of the founding fathers. What's something about the Constitution? Who was Martin Luther King? And the answer is that Martin Luther King fought for civil rights, for the freedom of black people. And, say what you will, but I find that profound. Another question that she asked me was, what does freedom of religion mean? And again, I was just struck by the values of this nation, that you can practice any religion freely without the government having to have any say in what you believe in, whether you want to practice religion or if you don't want to practice religion. I think that's pretty awesome. I'm a grandson to 4 Holocaust survivors. I'm clear that if it wasn't for the United States of America and these kinds of values, that I wouldn't exist today. My parents wouldn't exist. My family would have been completely wiped out. I grew up on American values. I grew up pledging allegiance to the American flag. I can't even, I'm moved when I'm talking about this. I'm really honored to be an American citizen. Like, the right to vote is a really big deal for me. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I found. 'Twas blind, but now I see. Damn it. There were two other things about the process that I found profound. I raised my right hand and she asked me, Do I pledge my allegiance to the American Constitution? And I said, Absolutely. She said, Will you bear arms if needed of you to defend the United States of America and its Constitution? My answer was, Absolutely. Stipulation, she's talking to the dude sitting in a wheelchair, so it's very unlikely that I would bear arms to defend this nation. But truthfully, I would bear arms to defend this nation. Yes, absolutely, I would do that. After the whole thing was over, She said, I'm recommending you and authorizing your citizenship. And you will receive a letter in the mail to know when you will come to the ceremony and all that. And she gives me a piece of paper. And on the piece of paper, it said, come to the ceremony wearing nice clothing that would show honor and dignity to the ceremony and the swearing, the giving of the oath. What a way it is to live life anywhere in life where I get to come places or I get to be with people or I get to do things and do it with the dignity and honor and to command respect from myself towards the people, towards the businesses, towards the nation, towards the flag of whoever I deal with, that I get to actually show up well groomed, well dressed, and what a world that would be. I just wanted to share that with you. And no matter what way you try and look at it, I think that the United States of America is a true force of good in the world. And of course, it can be debated and it can be looked at in different ways. But I think at the end of the day, when you look at what would this world look like if it wasn't for the United States of America, humanity would be at a whole different place and not for the better. So thank you. God bless you. I can't wait to be sworn in as a citizen. It's a real honor for me. And if you live in the U.S., I can only hope that you feel the same way. And if you don't, that's okay as well. Subscribe to my channel. Talk to you soon.